apologize, it's a bit of an eye test when you look at the screens, but we do things a little different than what Cosmo did. So we're going to go through the classes, name off our nominations. We did have 170 open entries this year, which for us, I think that's really great. We're excited to continue to grow. Exactly. Tomorrow at 9:30 Central, we will post the junior All-American nominations as well. So those will be on our Facebook page posted. So for juniors, be sure you pay attention tomorrow morning. We're very excited about all of those as well, and they continue to grow just like the open side does. So without further ado, I think we're going to get started here. So first class, Spring Heifer Calves, we had 10 entries. Bella Ridge wore Madrigal Red. Harbaugh and Lair family of Eden, Wisconsin. Curvale Warrior Appy Red, bred by John Tully. Michaela and Caleb Osinga were the exhibitors this year. Stolehaven Jordan Elena Red, bred by Alfie Stolfus. Exhibited by Mark Hill Farms Ltd, Ingersoll, Ontario. K. Bratt Unstoppable Lona Red, bred by Trey Bratcher, and exhibited by Haley and Hudson Spoonamore, Crab Orchard, Kentucky. Camps RXDB After Party Red, bred by Reggie and Christy Camps and Dennis Bowers, and obviously exhibited by them, Darlington, Wisconsin. And then WSC Warrior M&M Red, bred by F. Hayden Weaver, exhibited by Luke, Henry, and Millicent Brazel of Turlock, California. That was our spring heifer calf class. On to our winter calves. Bentley Let's Party Red ET, bred by Jake and Claire Bentley, exhibited by J.M. Valley, Wheatsdale, Firm for Tail, Steve Holsteins, and J.P. Prue of Pulaski, Wisconsin. Bentley Warrior Lynx Red. I kind of like this one a little bit, to be honest. I might own the dam. Jake and Claire Bentley were the breeders, exhibited by Cameron and Kate and Cole. Graham Orzel Alt Tamika Red, bred by Darrell Grom, and exhibited by Darrell Grom of Mount Carroll, Illinois. And I'm going to butcher a lot of things I've realized. Red Violet W. I'ma be Red ET, bred by Jonathan Hinshaw and Timothy Zimba, exhibited by Gemma Obert and Mallory Nifong of Burlington, Wisconsin.
The little girl.
Johnson 5, All Pippa Red, bred by Trace Johnson, exhibited by Ben and Jennifer Wallace and Steve McDonald of Stockton, Wisconsin. And last but not least, Wilnor Fireball Red, bred by McNally Farms, exhibited by them as well of Milton, Wisconsin. So there's your winter heifer calves.
In the fall heifer class, we have Bentley Love and War Red, bred and exhibited by Jacob and Claire Bentley. Next up, we have Milk Source TV Red, bred and exhibited by Milk Source Genetics of Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Clark Valley Warrior Lucky Rose, bred by Clark Valley Holsteins, owned and exhibited by Adam Clark of Woodville, Ontario. Seamers A-Hot 39046, bred by Seamers, owned and exhibited by Wadeland Dairy and Justin Hogue of Hogan, Utah. Millie Warrior Glore Red, bred by Aaron Cruzen and owned and exhibited by Jesse Moose. Walk Warrior Edith, bred by White Oaks Cattle Company, owned and exhibited by Jacob Logan, Madison, and Dylan and Cameron Ryan of Marion, Wisconsin. In the summer yearling heifers, we have Bella Ridge Love Shack Red, bred by Jacob Logan, Madison, and Adela and Ainsley Lair, owned and exhibited by Jacob Logan, Madison, Harbaugh, and Adele and Ainsley Lohr of Marion, Wisconsin. Miley Warrior Gently Red, bred by Adam Miley, owned and exhibited by Miley Holstein's Farm of West Salem, Ohio. Miley Warrior Graceful Red, bred by David Miley, owned and exhibited by Plainfield Farms, Lee Hart, Jay Ackley, Jay Springs of East Liberty, Ohio. Milk Source Adios Red, bred by Milk Source, owned and exhibited by Tristan Ostrom of Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Milk Source Red Light ANSI Red, bred by Milk Source LLC, owned and exhibited by Richard Brining and Cupid Cattle Company of Marshall, Wisconsin. Slow Flow Dock Road 2470 Red, bred by Kale Canyon, owned and exhibited by Fly Higher, AWN, and M. Reynolds and Austin Schmidt of Valley Falls, New York.
All right, on to our spring yearling heifers. We had 14 entries in this class. Elmbridge Mirren Lupa Red, bred by Peter Tuttle and Nicole Parkinson, exhibited by Style Holsteins of Belmont, Wisconsin. Hamming Geordie Monet, bred by Hamming Holsteins, exhibited by London Dairy of London, Ontario. Hill Rose Altitude Adore Red ET, bred by Joseph Brandmeier and exhibited by Bentley Blake Brody and Kyle Brandmeier of Hilbert, Wisconsin. Myco Warrior Velma Red, bred by Michelle Coles and exhibited by Robin Crollo, Sheboygan, Wisconsin. MS Analyst She Got It Red, bred by Maple Leaf Futures, A. Light and D. Vanderpool, exhibited by Gray Rose Cattle Company, Arizona Dairy Company, Gila Bend, Arizona, and Quiet Cove Firecracker Red, bred by Quiet Cove Holsteins, exhibited by Lily Elis of Wapakoneta, Ohio. Congratulations, our spring yearling heifers. Now on to the winter yearling heifers. We had 9 entries for that one. Arosa Apley 31861 Red ET, bred by Philip Arosa, exhibited by Keston Martin and Philip Arosa of Tulare, California. Belmore Warlord, exhibited by Mitchell Kiefer of Teeswater, Ontario, and also bred by Mitchell. Bentley Lights Out Red ET, bred by Jacob and Claire Bentley, exhibited by Jake and Claire Bentley of Glasgow, Wisconsin. Let's give it up for him. Flannery View Amazing Red ET, bred by Brandon Flannery, exhibited by Natalie A. Page L. and Neil R. Haas of Parker, South Dakota. Riverdown U A Sparkle Red ET, bred by Riverdown Holsteins and Kingsway Farms, exhibited by Jim Butler, Chevenix, Illinois. And last but not least, Seamers W. Hot 36873 Red ET, bred by Seamers Holsteins and E. Ackley, exhibited by Chris Ackley and James Kniple, East Liberty, Ohio. Congratulations to our winter yearlings.
In the fall yearling class, we had 9. First one is Beckridge Warrior Bermuda Red, bred by Beckridge Holsteins Peg Investments LLC, owned and exhibited by Beckridge Holsteins and Peg Investments of Keswick, Ontario. Seamers A. Hot 36141 Red, bred by Seamers and owned and exhibited by Darlington Ridge Farms of Darlington, Wisconsin.
Darlington Ridge Farms, you guys just came at the right time.
Dynasty Wood Creek Bonita Red, bred by Barry Wood, owned and exhibited by Kenley Phillips of Newberry, Ohio. Lynn Bell Rumchado Red, bred by William Schultz, owned and exhibited by Ryan Kress and Fly Higher Holsteins of Crowfoot, New York. Cam's RX A Out of Town Red, bred by Reggie and Christie, and also owned and exhibited by Reggie and Christie Camps of Darlington, Wisconsin. Red Carpet War 4 Mars Red, bred by Jonathan Heinzel, owned and exhibited by Jacob Logan, Madison Harbaugh, and Adela and Ansley Lore of Marion, Wisconsin. And for our yearling and milk, we had 10 entries. Fantasy Found Dynasty Red, bred by Abby Ainsley, owned and exhibited by Leaerl Kuhn of Middleborough, New York. Miss East Skin Ava Funad, bred by Sarah and Ashley Harbley and Peyton Bennett, owned and exhibited by Lily Marshman and Corporal Merrill of Oxford, New York. Gam Orzar Movin Elena Red, bred by David Gam and Robert Gavlin, owned by Scott Culberson and Jacob McFarland. Oakfield Analyst Rana Red, bred by Jonathan Lamb, owned and exhibited by Aubrey, Aiden, and Elena Top of Hawkins, Ohio. Schluter's Apple Spice Red, bred by Gracie Schluter, owned and exhibited by Rick Allen, Dave Tonin, and Dwayne Gibbs of Camden, Connecticut. Seamer's Tequila 033 Red, bred by Seamer's Holsteins, owned and exhibited by Ellenview Farms of Johnstown, New York.
Died. There it is. Now we're back. All right, on to our summer junior 2-year-old class. Blonde and Believe Lychee Red, bred by Firm Blonde and exhibited by Jim Butler, Chevenese, Illinois. Flower Book Jordy Heidi Red, bred by Andy Stewie and also exhibited by Andy Stewie, Hamburg, Minnesota. Camps RX, a Bib Archer Red ET, bred and exhibited by Reggie and Christy Camps and Joe Casper of Darlington, Wisconsin. Mead Manor Warrior ADS Red ET, bred by Megan Mead, exhibited by Sarah Fitzgerald of Belvedere, Illinois. Seamers A R-Hot 35895 Red ET, bred by Seamers Holsteins, exhibited by Kyra and Kinsey Dans of Barneville, Wisconsin. And Seamers Taya Red ET, bred by Seamers Holsteins, and exhibited by Beth Roberts, Oldwick, New Jersey. In our junior 2-year-old cow class, we had 7 entries for that one. First would be Golden Oaks Alexis, bred by Golden Oaks Holsteins, exhibited by Hodgland Holsteins and Smitty Holsteins, Kincardine, Ontario. Cress Hill Sci-Fi Red ET, bred and exhibited by Owen and Kendall Cress of Newton, Wisconsin. Cooperus Altitude Ruby Red, bred by Matthew Cooperus and exhibited by Lundcrest Farm and Matthew Cooperus of Granville, New York. Lucky E. Devour Akusa Red ET, bred by Matt Engel and exhibited by Golden Oaks of Wakanda, Illinois. Milk Source Tantalized Red ET, bred by Milk Source LLC and exhibited by Taylor Heft of Elkhorn, Wisconsin. And last on our list, but not least, would be Scolo Diced Assassin Red ET, bred by John Kennan, exhibited by Showbox Sires, T&L Cattle, and Culbertson of Rudolph, Wisconsin.
In our senior 2-year-old class, we had 10 cows. Drew Ann Warrior Apple 1017 Red, bred and exhibited by Stephen and Patrick Maddox of Riverdale, California. Sonnenbrook Ashani Red, bred and exhibited by Ryan Sonnenberg of Belleville, Wisconsin. Kozak Warrior Bombshell Red, bred by Caitlin Kozak, owned and exhibited by Bryce Fisher of Cudworth, Saskatchewan. Crest Hill Spicy Red, bred by Crest Hill, owned and exhibited by Hadley Ross of Gil Bend, Arizona. Wild Weed Warrior Maui Red, bred by Frank Bailing, owned and exhibited by Elmview Farms of Johnstown, New York. Oakfield Us Bamboo, bred by Oakfield Corners, as well as owned and exhibited by Oakfield Corners of Oakfield, New York. In our junior 3-year-old class, we had 10 entries. Clawstar Majestic Altitude, bred and owned by Stephen Cloud of Compton, Quebec. Maple Edge Calendar Grill, bred by Logan Ross, owned and exhibited by Yvonne Frieder of Columbus, Wisconsin. Milk Source Sephora Red, bred by Milk Source Genetics, owned and exhibited by New Direction Ordinary of Lamira, Wisconsin. Milk Source Torrent Red, bred by Milk Source Genetics, as well as owned by Milk Source Genetics of Kakana, Wisconsin. Miss T Triple T T.I. Fay, bred by Triple T Holsteins and T&L Cattle Company, owned by Oakfield Corners of Oakfield, New York. Whitefield Jackson Love, bred by Blake Wright, owned and exhibited by Blackjack Holsteins, MB Lucky Lady, and T&L Cattle Company of Wyckoff, Minnesota.
Thanks for speaking, Michael.
So on to our senior 3-year-old class. We had 10 entries for that one. Color Splendid Gift Red, bred by Color Farms and E. Ackley, exhibited by J. Ackley, Ken James, and Color Farms of East Liberty, Ohio. Golden Oaks Temptress Red ET, bred by Golden Oaks Farms and exhibited by Milk Source, Fisher, Steincrest, and Crescent Mead of Kakana, Wisconsin. Willie Serendipitous Legacy Red, bred by Willie Holsteins and exhibited by Oakfield Corners of Oakfield, New York. Londonderry Bajangle Red ET, bred by Christopher Savage and Cooper Galton and exhibited by Deb Reiner, Bowen, and Schilling, West Salem, Ohio. Pottsdale Altitana Red ET, bred by Chris and Sarah Potts and exhibited by Elmview Farms of Johnstown, New York. And Ronleen Jordy Evangelina Red, bred by Ronleen Holsteins and exhibited by Cale Baker and Regan Prize of Maynard, Iowa. Congratulations to our senior 3-year-olds. On to our 4-year-old class, we had 11 entries for that one. Plumline Chili Pepper Red, bred by Brooke Carey and exhibited by Brooke Carey of Titusville, Pennsylvania. Premium Apple Crisp Lily Red, bred by Francis Monroe and exhibited by Jim Butler of Chevenix, Illinois. Rencrest Diamondback CC Red, bred by Tyler and Kelly Reynolds and exhibited by them as well from Corfu, New York. Cashel's Uncutie Red ET, bred by Ben and Chase Cashel and exhibited by Elmview Farms of Johnstown, New York. Synergy Spike Sequel Red, bred by MC and E. Jacquette and M&C and S. Hake Straczynski, exhibited by Jacob and Claire Bentley, Evan Jacquette, and Straczynski, Pulaski, Wisconsin. And last for our 4-year-olds, but not least for sure, Milk Source Tantrum Red ET, bred and exhibited by Milk Source Genetics of Kaukauna, Wisconsin.
In our 5-year-old class, we have Abflow Spring Honey Bun, bred by J. Stephen Arbrow, owned and exhibited by Hadley Laws of Gilbend, Arizona. Milk Source Renaissance Red, bred by Milk Source LLC, owned and exhibited by Golden Oaks Farm of Wakanda, Illinois. Miss Pretty Playful Red, bred by Triple T, Michael Heath, and Mike Berry, owned and exhibited by Maple Down Farms and Peter Vale. Miss Ransom Rail Beth Red, bred by Ransom Rail Farms and Robert Landis, owned and exhibited by Milk Source, Ransom Rail, and Lori Fisher of Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Star Kai Blue Adelaide Red, bred by Premium Star, H&K Hoffman, and Kyle Bluegrass, owned by Golden Oaks Farm, Wakanda, Illinois. Juniper Diamondback Missy Red, bred by George Liberty, owned as well as owned and exhibited by George Liberty of Gray, Maine. In our age cow class, we had 8 entries. Apple Partners Astonish Red, bred by the Apple Partners, owned and exhibited by Mackenzie and Callan Ferris of Garvis, Oregon. Flower Star Cal All Out Red, bred by Lookout Holsteins and Gloucester Holsteins. Owned and exhibited by Jay Ackley and Don Simpson of East Liberty, Ohio. Cellcrest D Cheeto Red, bred by Gary Sell, owned and exhibited by Colton and Ethan Brown of Stone, Wisconsin. Willow Moore Diamondback Rose Red, bred by William Schrader, owned and exhibited by Elmview Farms of Johnstown, New York. Lucky E Diamond Tonto Red, bred by Joseph Engel, owned and exhibited by Jacob Menzie of Milford, New York. McLean Awesome Red Juliet Red, bred by Scott Culberson and James McFarland, owned and exhibited by Scott Culberson and James McFarland of Elgin, Minnesota.
And on to our final class of our All-American nomination, our production girls, 125,000-pound class. We had 8 entries for this one. Cherry Lord Lab Ripple Red, bred by Cale Hembury and exhibited by Doug Boop and Cale Hembury of Millmont, Pennsylvania. Oakfield Addiction Emoji Red, bred by Alicia and Jonathan Lamb and exhibited by Alicia and Jonathan Lamb of Oakfield, New York. Calgandos D Avianca Red ET, bred by Francisco Rodriguez and exhibited by Alicia and Jonathan Lamb, Oakfield, New York. Highcroft Absolute Lily Red, bred by Highcroft Holsteins, exhibited by Glimmerview Jaeger, Walton, and Eaton Holsteins of Marietta, New York. ZBW Zims Listen to Me Red, bred by Mason Zimba and exhibited by Mason Zimba of Durhamville, New York. And Milk Source Boat Allure Red ET, bred by Milk Source LLC and exhibited by Lauren E. and Brayton Brennig of Sauk City, Wisconsin. So that concludes our red and white open All-American nominations. Congratulations to everyone. As we said, tomorrow we'll be posting the Junior All-American nominations, and very excited to see the results of those. So thank you, everybody, for paying attention and listening to the show.
Go, guys!